What's up guys, really quick before we jump into the video, I just wanted to go ahead and let you know that I'm having an absolutely insane bundle discount on both of my courses right now up until New Year's. So I'm literally going to be selling both of these courses for only $97. So $97 to get lifetime access to both of those courses, which is an absolutely insane deal considering what they normally sell for. However, I want to go ahead and help as many people out as possible during the holiday season and trying to create as many success stories as possible going into 2019. So with that said, go ahead and click the link in the description to check out this bundle offer, and let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Alright, what's up guys? So we're inside my computer and we're going to go ahead and get started with these 3 Facebook ad secrets. So getting right into it, the first one is going to be to make sure that you actually know your numbers. So a lot of people just go out there and they blindly run ads, and they think that it's okay as long as the revenue that they are bringing in from the ads is higher than the ad spend. But this is actually completely untrue because revenue is a lot different than actual profit. So you need to actually get down and dirty and make sure you know your numbers when you're out there running Facebook ads. So a couple things you need to find out before you even start running ads is what's your product cost, and then what's your profit margin. And then after you've determined those two, you need to go ahead and figure out what your target CPA is based on the above two. And in this case, the action that we want to go for is purchases. So CPA is going to represent our cost per purchase. So ideally, you're going to want at least a 2x return on ad spend calculated by profit, not by revenue. So I want to go ahead and jump into 2 examples that are going to kind of highlight this big difference. Because the first example may actually seem good at face value, but then when you actually dig into the numbers, you'll see that it isn't actually as good as initially advertised. So you can see the first example here, we have our product cost is $10, and then we're selling it for $20, so we have a profit margin of $10. So let's say we spent $500. So we have $500 worth of ad spend, and we generated 50 sales. So those 50 sales generated us $1,000 in revenue. So at face value, you can look at this and say, oh, we spent $500 to make back $1,000. But did we really? Did we really just get a 2x ROI? Well, we actually didn't, because our product cost is $10 and our profit margin is $10. So in actuality, with these numbers and this ad spend and this amount of sales, we actually broke completely even. So what on the surface seems like, oh, we just 2x'd our money, was really we just made $0. And a quick disclaimer, breaking even on an ad is actually a pretty good thing, and it usually means with a couple of tweaks, whether it's conversion tweaks on your store or optimization tweaks on the ad, you can actually turn a break-even ad into a profitable ad moving forward. But I wanted to use these simple, easy numbers, that way everyone could follow the math really easily and it wouldn't be very confusing or anything like that. So now let's move into a different example. So this would be an actual good example of what we're trying to look for here. So same product cost, same product sales price, same profit margin, same ad spend, but this time we generated 75 sales, which is 1,500 revenue. So this would be an actual 2x ROI, because you see now we have $500 in profit. So we spent $500 on ads and we made back $500 in profit, not in revenue. So that's the important thing to keep track of when we're knowing our numbers, is we only care about profit. I know a lot of people share big revenue numbers, me included, everyone does it. But the most important thing out of all that is the actual profit. Behind the scenes, how much profit is actually being made from that revenue. So the important thing that you need to take away from this is make sure you know your numbers ahead of time, so that way you're not just essentially burning money with advertising, thinking you're making money, but you're really not, like in the first example. So make sure you know your numbers whenever you're going to move into starting testing out new products and new ad campaigns on Facebook. So this is going to kind of segue into number 2, which is make sure that you are testing your products correctly. So a lot of people don't really have a tried and true, just simple template method that they can go out there and follow when it comes to testing products. Well, if you're watching this video right now, that's about to change. In the next 5 minutes, you're going to have a testing method. You can go out there and just rinse and repeat with all of your different products. So first off, you don't want to use $5 a day BS, and that's because each product has a different profit margin, meaning it needs different amounts of ad spend. They're going to need varying amounts of ad spend to be able to determine whether or not the product's actually going to perform well or not. Now, $5 a day may have worked well back in 2016, but it's not 2016, so who the hell cares? So Facebook says they need about 15 to 25 conversion events a week to properly optimize for that specified conversion. So based on that, we're going to use the following formula when testing products. So the first thing we need to do is determine our product profit margin. So we're going to stick with the same $10 profit margin from the above example from tip number 1. And then we need to determine our target CPA. So like I said before, a 2x is preferred. So we're going to stick with a 2x. So this means if our profit margin is $10, ideally we want to be acquiring customers for $5. So what we need to do then is take our target CPA, so in this case $5, and then multiply it by 15 and then multiply it by 25. So that's going to give us a range of $75 to $125. So then we need to take those two numbers here, and as you can see I made a typo in this, so we'll go ahead and get rid of that. So we need to take 75 and 125 divided by 7. So 7 represents a 7-day daily budget, so a 7-day testing period. And then that's going to give us what our daily budget actually is. So if I go ahead and pull up my phone here and do 75 divided by 7, that would be about $10.70, or 125 divided by 7, that would be about $17.80. So that would be our optimal range for our daily budget, would be from $10 to $18. Now it's recommended that you go with the higher end of that range, that way you fully give Facebook the maximum amount of time to go ahead and go out there and optimize the ad. So in an ideal world, after $125 worth of ad spend, at that point we'd be getting purchases at $5 if the product is a winner. Now that doesn't mean that our cost per purchase at that specific point would be $5, because in the beginning the ad wouldn't be optimized, but hopefully by that point we would start to begin to get purchases for our target CPA. Now I wanted to emphasize that I put in an ideal world because most of the time stuff doesn't work out like that in an ideal world, which is why this formula has to be taken with a grain of salt. Nothing with paid advertising is an exact science. That's why you use this formula as a template, and then you have to use your best judgment after the test period to analyze whether or not the product has potential, because there's a lot of different things that come into play. So even at this point, even if it's not profiting yet, maybe your targeting was a little messed up, maybe your ad wasn't very well, maybe your landing page isn't very good. There's a lot of things that come into play. So that's why this formula is literally just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to having a profitable ad campaign. But this formula is tried and true, and it's a very good one that I recommend you go out there and follow, so that way you're not going out there and guessing ad budget. Now you have ad budget that's based off of actual math and based off of actual data that Facebook themselves have went out there and provided us. And let's say you had a couple different potential audiences or sectors within an audience that you wanted to go ahead and try out. So let's say you have a video ad for a product and you had 3 or 4 different audiences that you wanted to target, or different audience combinations you wanted to try out. What you would do is you would just set up 4 different video ads then with this budget here. So each one you would have $125 total budget, so $18 a day in this case, on 4 different ads, testing out each different audience. So this is a very easy formula you can go out there and go ahead and rinse and repeat inside of your Facebook Ads Manager. So now we're going to go ahead and move into the third tip of this video, which is to go out there and retarget like an e-commerce god. So retargeting is something that's often overlooked, and a lot of people don't really do it to its maximum potential. So the first thing I wanted to go over is that you should start retargeting very early in your store's lifetime. So what you want to do is start retargeting as soon as you get around the point where you're getting about 100 daily visitors to your store. And at this point, what you can do is spend $5 to $10 per day per 100 daily visitors to your store. And I give the $5 to $10 range because sometimes retargeting just performs a little bit better with certain products in certain stores than others. So if your retargeting campaigns getting an insane return on ad spend, then maybe you want to go ahead and up the budget. So beyond that, once you have a winning ad set that's beginning to be scaled, so once you have a product that's starting to do well and you're starting to scale that budget up, what you want to do is start actually splitting your retargeting up into 2 different sectors. So a lot of times people just have one blanket retargeting method for the entire store, but if you actually hyper target your retargeting, you're going to notice a lot cheaper conversions from retargeting and a lot larger return on ad spend from your retargeting campaigns. So we can split our retargeting audience actually into 2 different sections. So the first one is retargeting people who viewed our product page, so viewed content, but they didn't add the product to cart. And the second group of people are people who added the product to cart, but then didn't purchase. And it works really good to split these up into 2 separate retargeting campaigns because you can use different ad copy for each one. So think of, your abandoned cart emails. You could write your retargeting campaign for people that added to cart like an abandoned cart email. With people that didn't add to cart and they just viewed your product, you may want to write your copy a little bit differently. So what this allows us to do is to go out there and kind of be more personalized when we're actually retargeting our potential customers. So a quick example of this is, let's say for view content people, they may not be interested in the product as much as someone that actually went out there and added the product to their cart. So we could hit them with a catalog retargeting campaign so they can see our other related products as well. So a catalog is one of the most efficient ways to retarget on Facebook because it shows the initial product the person viewed and then it shows related products next to it. So maybe the person wasn't interested in your cat bracelet, but they're interested in your cat backpack or something like that. So this is the most efficient way to go out and retarget people that view content but didn't add to cart. But then for people that did add to cart, these people are clearly interested in buying and we're comfortable with our price point. So we can retarget them with a single product retargeting ad or a video, maybe a different video of the product or even a customer testimonial. There's a lot of different things you can do. And if you did charge them shipping, we can offer them free shipping. So a lot of times if somebody adds something to cart and they don't complete the checkout, it could be because the shipping price was too high or they didn't have a shipping option that they wanted. So what you could do is you could go ahead and offer them free shipping if you haven't already done that. And if you do already offer free shipping, then you can just go ahead and offer them an additional 10% off. But this is definitely something that works really well once your Facebook ad campaigns start scaling up a lot and once you start getting a lot of store traffic. If you're only getting 100, 200 visitors per day and only getting a few sales, then you're not going to see too much of a difference from splitting up your retargeting. But the more and more traffic you get, the more and more benefit you're going to actually see from splitting up your retargeting. It's one of those things where it's kind of like a snowball. So the more sales, the more traffic you're generating, the more benefits you're going to see from actually splitting up your retargeting. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you liked these 3 tips, and with that, give the video a thumbs up if you did, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.